You are now tuned into Story Time to Chill with Val and Seal. It's Story Time to Chill with Val and Seal. It's Story Time to Chill with Val and Seal. It's Story Time and Chill with Val and Seal.
Yay! Happy Wednesday. I know with
Yes,
story time chill with Val and Seal, like Wednesday has easily become your favorite day of the week.
it
Um,
is.
so welcome back.
Yes.
We are here. We are here. And today, well, before I tell you who our guest is, you guys know me, but I am Cecilia Seal Smith, one of your hosts for tonight.
And she's so wonderful, isn't she? Yes, she is. And I'm your other host, Valerie Johnson Reed.
Yes. And today, you know, I don't think they know this that Joy Harrisburg, who is a returning guest of ours, a returning sister author of ours, was actually Storytime Chill's very first guest. Okay. Last July, when we launched
Uh-huh.
Storytime Chill, and we're coming up on a year, so that's going to be a whole
Yay.
debate. But last year, last July, Joy Harrisburg was our very first author, and just look at how much has changed and evolved since then. So we're
Yes.
happy to bring her on. She will be talking about her new book, Different Like Me, and everything that all of the amazing things that she's been up to, interviews on news stations. I'll let her tell y'all all the rest of the stuff. I'm
Yes.
gonna bring her on up. Hey, Joy.
Hello,
Hey, hey
Joy.
guys.
How are you this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We
Great.
are well. We are so excited to have you here. Like Phil just said, you are our first guest. You were the first person to trust us with the vision of Storytime Field with Balance Hill. And so we're just so honored to have you here again tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back. And I love the theme song. I didn't know if you could see me, but I was like, story time to
Yes.
chill.
It's catchy,
Yeah.
huh?
Come
Yeah.
on, vocals
That's
over here.
right.
Don't tell anybody. But anyway, well, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Tell our audience who might be familiar with you, and we also have some new viewers. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I currently live in St. Louis, Missouri. I wrote my first children's book, Zoe the Great, in February of 2019. Released my second book, Different Like Me, which is the one I'm talking about tonight. I love to write. I love to blog. I love to sing, journal, spend time with my family. And I'm really excited about this. I know I was your first guest, but you guys were actually my first interview. So I'm
Oh,
so excited to be back and just to talk to you guys again.
yes, that's
Yes,
amazing.
we
Oh,
are so excited to have you back, and we know that
yeah.
you're doing some amazing things. So, without further delay, Joy Harrisburg, take it away.
Okay. All right. So this is my book. It's called Different Like Me. Okay. Molly is a mirror that all of the kids come to see. Legend says if you visit Molly, she will tell you what you were born to be. The trick is you must first look in the mirror and say what you see when you look at yourself each day. Tommy goes in first and stands up tall. He turns and faces Molly and suddenly feels small. Mirror, mirror on the wall, do you know what I see? I see a boy with autism whose brain works differently. I become upset when things don't go my way. I must do everything at the same time in the same way. Sometimes I get mad when the other kids are too loud. I go and find a little corner away from the crowd. It's tough for me to stay focused at school. My friends always help me. They are so cool. Some kids think I'm strange, but I must disagree. I am not strange at all. I am just simply me. Kylie comes in and says, "It's my turn. I will go next. I'm not sure what to say, but I will try my best. Mirror, mirror on the wall, do you know what I see? I see a girl with Down syndrome who learns things differently. It took me longer than others to learn to move around. Now that I'm finally moving, it's hard to keep me down." I hold on tight to things and I don't want to let them go. That's gotten me into trouble more times than you would know. It's hard for me to make friends or talk to someone new. I wouldn't say I like large crowds. One or two people will do. I know that I am different, but it doesn't bother me. Imagine if we were all the same. How boring would that be? Maggie comes in and says, "Now it's my turn to see if this magical mirror can tell me what I was born to be. Mirror, mirror on the wall, do you know what I see? I see a girl in a wheelchair that gets around differently. It was hard for me to learn to move around. I can't use my legs at all, but I have this wheelchair down." My teachers make it easy for me to move around in my class. I always try my best to finish, even if I finish last. I can do all sorts of things and even play games with my friends. They never take it easy on me and try to let me win. I can do anything that I put my mind to. A disability is what I have, but it doesn't stop what I do. There are so many people in the world who are different just like me. So, Molly, can you tell us all what we were born to be? Then Molly says, "Okay, but first, let me tell you what I see. I see beautiful children who are as perfect as can be. Your differences make you unique in a wonderful way. Continue to be kind, and the world will be yours one day." Now the time has come for me to tell you three what in this world you are supposed to be. There is only one thing that you are meant to do. Always be yourself because there will never be another you. In the end. And then I just have some facts about autism, wheelchairs, and Down syndrome in the back, and some resources.
Joy, joy,
Loved it.
joy. Whew.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
I don't know
Very
if y'all can
beautiful.
see, but I was on Amazon ordering my different like me books. So
Yes. Yes.
continue, Val. Let me finish this
I
order.
mean, well, I do have some questions. Joy, that was an amazing book. Thank you so much for having the vision to write a book like that. It was just amazing. Let me ask you a couple questions. After giving us Zoe the Great,
Mhm.
why did you feel it was important to write Different Like Me?
Well, Zoe the Great, it kind of fit the same concept because Zoe was different. And
Mhm.
I wanted to write something for children who were differently able because we always talk about representation. And I wanted to provide not only representation in color, but representation in abilities. So I knew that it was a message that I just had to get out there.
Let's talk a little bit more about representation.
Okay.
Why did you feel it was important? Because so much is pushed in society nowadays. Why did you feel that it was particularly important to show representation with children with special abilities?
Yeah, and I had wrote a blog about this. It was a whole ordeal. I was bullied in school, and in the seventh grade, I was every day I was teased, and it was me, and it was always another girl that had Down syndrome, and then it was another boy
Mm.
that was in a wheelchair. It was like we were the three
Oh.
targets every time they came in there, and I knew why I was being teased. I was chubby. I'm like, okay, that's an easy target, but the other two kids, they honestly just didn't understand
Mm.
why those kids were teasing them. And when I started my journey as an author and writing and blogging, I knew I wanted to kind of be that voice because they couldn't speak for themselves or they couldn't verbalize how they felt. So I'm like, let me put this in a story to kind of help children understand that it's okay to be different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's a trigger for me. I actually
It
just had an
is.
entire conversation with some students of mine just yesterday. And they were like, Miss, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing's wrong with me, but I don't condone ganging up on people. I don't condone making anyone feel uncomfortable. And I don't condone bullying. And it's not funny when they're not laughing with you. Like that, it's not funny to be mean. It's not okay. It's not cute. It's nothing cute about being mean and nasty and hateful. And so I really appreciate you sharing both in your blog and in this story just how important, because when you read those types of stories, you can see even the bullies in the classroom getting a little uncomfortable because the shoe
Yeah.
fits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? So
That's
it's
true.
these types of stories are very important for both ends of it. So
Yeah, I agree. And I never
They
knew if
are.
maybe just the kids that were the bullies just didn't understand differences or if they didn't care. But either way, I wanted to just put something out there to try to help.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about that for a minute. I'm glad you brought that up. Do you feel that in our society, then and now, that so many parents don't talk about the special abilities? And I say that because my son was born with cerebral palsy, and you could see the stares people look at him when he walks, but it's like you can also see that there are certain people that don't gravitate to him, but then there are certain people that are and that do. And I just wonder, like, have those students that are more comfortable, have their parents sat down and talked to them about special abilities, or is it that the children that tease or bully, not giving them an excuse, but have they been talked to about this person is still a person, regardless that they're different than you, they're still a person? What are your thoughts about
I think, honestly, I think it's half and half. I think that sometimes they are sat down and talked to about the differences, and still they just choose to make fun of it. And then sometimes I think that they honestly just don't know. Because I know the first time I saw someone who had Down syndrome, I didn't understand why they looked differently.
Right.
So I think maybe that should be more of a focus, just kind of explaining different disabilities so kids know how not to react. Because even though you're different, if you're different, you already know you're different. So when you have someone staring at you, it just makes you uncomfortable, and it makes you feel like it's something wrong with you, and it's not. You're just different than everyone else, and that's okay.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely an important conversation. And Val is very transparent in with her children in having like those what I call the hard to have conversations, the uncomfortable conversations that force you to peel the band-aid off type conversations, but they're so necessary. And I think to Joy's point, a lot of it too is sometimes you don't necessarily have had to have a parent or someone talk to you about people with disabilities, but you also could have been on that receiving end of someone
Yes.
treating you unkindly because of how you look.
Yes.
Like for me, people don't know this now, but like I was the one getting picked on because I was dark skinned. I can't change the shade. I wouldn't even change my shade, but I can't help how I look. But I got
Right.
on because of something as simple as you're too dark in people's eyes. And so for me, my mom or my parents never set me down and explained anything about differences or disabilities, but I had compassion and empathy for people who were treated poorly because I know how it feels.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would naturally, even though I was somewhat popular, I would still gravitate to those students. And I'm like, I'll sit with you. I'll be your friend.
Right. Right. Right.
Because I just knew how it felt. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's a good point, because I think that has to go along with being being human, but it also goes along with being a heart. And it says who we are as people when we feel the compassion and we have the sympathy, the empathy to feel for another person. And I think that's just something that I don't know if that's taught or if that's instilled or if it's just something that we all have. I don't know. But I just think that's so important. And I'm so glad that this story talks about that because we need this. We need to talk about differences and know that it is okay. It is it's okay to be who we are. Another question I have, because Steele and I talk about this all the time when we're looking for people to be on the show and we're looking at the storyline and we're looking at the pictures. Your pictures, your illustrations are beautiful. Give us some insight on why it is so important to have illustrations and pictures that actually show the disability, the children, the laughter, the concern. Why is it? Talk to us a little bit about that because I
Yeah.
believe sometimes that people don't understand how important the illustrations are for the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I went through 3 different illustrators trying to get the vision of what I was looking for because it is so important. Because a lot of times I think people will look at the pictures before they even read one word.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can
Yes,
look at the
yes,
picture, you want them to want to read it. Like as soon as you see the picture, you're like, okay, let me see what this book is about. So
Yeah.
it's so
yes,
important because a picture is worth 1,000 words. If you see like my cover, the kids hugging each other, the mirror, giving them the thumbs up that they're okay. My
right,
goal, my hope, my prayer was that that was enough to make people want to open the book up and
Mm-hmm.
read it.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's
See?
so important.
Yep.
Yeah.
So important. The pictures, like you said, the pictures speak. And it
Mm-hmm.
either makes you want to pick it up or it makes you want to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Thank you
I
so much.
mean, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but when it comes to books, people are
We
going to
do.
judge the book
Exactly.
Yes.
by its cover.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just especially if it's a picture book, if it's for children, and you have to think about it too. Some children aren't at the level to where they can read the words, but they can still understand the emotions or
Pictures.
what's being conveyed by the illustrations. Because before
Absolutely.
Elijah actually started reading sentences, he would still create his own stories. I'm like,
Mhm.
what do you think is happening here? He's sad because this person's being mean to him. That's not what the story said, but that was a gist because he saw it in
Right.
the illustration. And
Right.
that's what good
Right.
authors do. That's what good picture books
Mhm.
do. You're able to convey the message even without the words.
That's
Right.
right.
So you can have an
Yeah.
amazing story, but if those pictures don't match with the powerful story that you've written, it brings it down, and
Yes.
you don't want that to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing about that. Because that's a key to a children's book, a book, period. It's just
Yeah.
key. Absolutely. Now, Joy, tell us a little bit more. Tell us, when did you realize that you wanted to become an author?
Honestly, it was really a few years ago. I started my blog. Like my husband, I used to have ideas, and I'm like, I don't think anybody wants to hear what I have to say because I was so quiet. I'm like, eh. And my husband's like, yeah, go ahead and start your blog. And it actually started because I was documenting my fertility journey because I have been and still trying to get pregnant, and it was just a way to kind of be an inspiration. And it just
Mm.
kind of took off. I had people like stopping me in the street, like, just like, man, your blog is it's amazing. And
Yes.
I like that feeling. I'm like, you know what? I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to use my words to inspire people and use my stories to inspire people. So it really just happened, I would say maybe 2017. I
Mhm.
really knew that this is something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, Steele and I, we have these conversations. I mean, we have these conversations like if they could go behind the scenes and look how we talk, and it's just like everything you just said is just like right on point.
Yeah.
You know, your purpose. Doesn't it feel good to be functioning in your purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because you are walking in your purpose. God will and has and will continue to open other doors for you to continue to walk in your purpose and continue to be an influence and light to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can definitely
yeah,
agree with that. It's been
yes,
like open door city. Like
yes,
God has just been showing out, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
It's
Yes,
crazy because like I said, I never thought that I would even be doing anything like this. So it's
yes,
amazing.
it is. And being that it is open door season, tell us a little bit of what you have going on in your open door season.
Man, okay, so I started my own publishing company, Bright Light
Woo,
Publishing.
woo, woo.
And that
Yes.
is bright light. It just kind of came from one of my favorite scriptures, Matthew 5:16, let your light shine. Because that's kind of what I'm all about, just trying to shine a light and be inspirational. And I signed my first client. So I was all excited about that. The
Yes.
first day I
Come on,
launched and signed my
God.
first client, I'm like,
Won't
okay,
he
I
do
like
it?
this. But I redid my first book, Zoe the Great. It was never an ebook. So I made it an ebook and released it under Bright Light. And then I just released my new journal. It's called It's Okay to Be Different. And it's a journal. It has writing activities and affirmations for kids. And I brought
Awesome.
it. I came
Please,
prepared.
come on, come on,
I'm
come
so
Beautiful.
on.
excited. Like, this is
Yes.
just kind of
Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
the pages.
Oh, yes.
It just has different places for them to write and kind of journal their thoughts.
Joy.
Love it.
Okay. Wait, okay. Wait, I know we haven't gotten to where she tells us where to support, but can you
Go ahead.
where's the
Go
journal?
ahead.
How can we support?
And I'm excited because this is
Yes.
my first item like that I published. It's at Barnes and Noble. It's the first thing I've ever had at Barnes and Noble. So you can
Oh,
get it at Barnes and Noble. It's available on Lulu.com.
yeah.
And you can
Okay.
go to my publishing website, brightlightpub.com, and
I
purchase.
gotta order
Okay.
that to the basket after the call.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I might get one for me to have, and then I get one for
I was gonna say, I think
Yes.
I want one for myself.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
What else? No, we also saw because we like to snoop around and kind of see what our family, because y'all are family, our Storytime family is doing. We noticed that you were featured on a news station. Tell us a little bit about that.
That was crazy to me. It just kind of like these opportunities, just honestly, I'm on Facebook and I see the opportunity and I just go after it. But this one
Mhm.
actually was in my inbox. They were looking for authors to be featured, and it just so happened I had just launched the publishing company. So I was able to do the interview and connect with them, and they put the interview. It actually aired, or not aired, but it was posted on Fox
Hmm.
and NBC News and CBS News. So
Yes.
I was
Come
so
on.
excited.
Yes, 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 yes. That's what we
Yes.
love to hear. When
Hmm.
you are not doing Bright Light Publishing and you're not writing, what do you enjoy doing?
Honestly, I love to cook. Like I have a show on YouTube. It's called Scratch That, and
Okay.
it's just like for me, it's fun. It's a hobby. Like I love to cook, and it's just so relaxing. And I noticed that I just need a break because I'm always writing something down, and
Yeah.
so it's really therapeutic. And it lets my mind breathe for a second. So I
Oh
do that.
wow.
I watch Marvel movies. This is my favorite thing in the world to
Yes.
watch is Marvel movies. I watch them all the time. Spend time with my husband. Go to church. Pretty
Yes.
much. I'm pretty simple.
Okay. That's
After
that's
she's been on the
awesome.
look, after she's been on the news station, and
Right.
I'm
everybody in
simple.
America
Yeah.
knows Joy's name.
Yeah,
She's
she's
talking
pretty
about
simple. Oh, I'm pretty simple. No, no,
yeah,
you're not.
yeah, pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. Yes, you're not simple at all. Wow, that's beautiful. That's lovely. So let me ask you this, Joy. What has been one of the most surprising things you've learned about being an author? What has been
um,
something that you didn't imagine, you didn't picture, you never thought about before becoming an author, but you realized it afterwards?
Mm,
I would say the power of words. Like I think a lot of times, even like if you look on Facebook, people will make a post and they don't really think about what they say or who they can affect. Like you don't really realize until someone repeats your words back to you
Mm-hmm,
how powerful they actually are.
yeah.
mm-hmm.
And I had a virtual book visit with this school, and one of the students actually recited back to me the words about the character in my book that had autism. Like she read it
Oh,
back, and she's like, "My siblings have autism, and you helped me to understand it by saying this."
mm,
So when she recited it back, I'm like, man, like you never know how impactful
Hmm.
your words can be and your voices. And my voice is
yes.
something that I never really used. I was always so quiet. I didn't think I really had anything to say. And God has literally showed me that you have something to say and you're going to use it to inspire the world. So that's been the most rewarding thing for me.
That's amazing.
That's
Thank you
yeah.
so much. Yeah, that's good.
God to give you the words.
Yes, he
We
will.
know that. What's
Yes, he
the
will.
quote that we learned from Clubhouse? Lord, teach me
Teach me
the
the new language of my new level.
yeah, teach me the new language of my new level, and
I like that.
He definitely will provide you the
Yes, he
perfect
will.
words to
Yes, he
say.
will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
I'm going to write that down.
Another,
New language of
another.
my new level.
Write it down. Write it down. And so, Joy, during this pandemic this year, it's not been easy,
Mm-mm.
but there have been some blessings through some of this. What are some things that you have done to help you focus on your goals? What were some things that you focused on to keep you from becoming distracted from publishing? You're starting your publishing company, writing different like me. What were some things that you found yourself doing to help you stay focused on the goals?
Mhm.
Honestly, just I have like a room upstairs where I can just go. Like I have it set up. I have my candles in there. I have my light, and I kind of just go in there and relax. Like I just kind of sit there and just kind of gather my thoughts and just kind of have that moment to myself. Because
Mhm.
I feel like I'm always so busy, always doing something, doing an interview, doing something, writing something.
Mhm.
I had to find time for myself just to relax and just chill out.
Mhm.
Yes, that's so needed. It's so needed. So then my next question is, what do you think? And we talk again, Sil and I talk about this kind of stuff because
Mhm.
we're just always thinking, always, and I know you can relate to this. What are some things that you see could be some goals for the writing community at large? Because you're in St. Louis and we're in Houston, and we see certain things that we would like to do, and I'm sure you see a different angle or perspective of what you would like to see, what would you like to do. What are some things that you see as a writing community that we could all work on or all get together and focus on to help our community?
I think honestly, just coming together as authors, like doing more panels. Like I love to see panels. I
Yeah.
love this story time and chill that you guys do.
Yeah.
And just also more panels, like to talk about different topics that are maybe not talked about in our community.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
children and even adults, so people can just see someone that looks like them and maybe relate more to them. Just see us coming together and just kind of talking about those hard things or difficult topics or even giving back, maybe giving back some of our books. Like I see a lot of things that we can do that would really be
Mhm.
impactful.
Yeah.
I do. I agree. And we talk about this all the time. And thank you for your insight and your input because that is so important. And I just, I just, I long for the day that COVID would be something that we say, remember when, so that we can truly have gatherings and focus. And, not that we can't do it now, not that we're not doing it now, but I'm just I'm just excited to know for the future that we will one day be able to convene and get together and do conferences and actually be, be able to see people's faces and they see our faces and actually reach out and hug and touch
Yeah.
and just, be able to show our emotions.
Mhm.
So yes, and
Yeah.
give back, truly give back to the community. So my next question, Joy, and this is my final question that I have, and I know still has some questions behind me. What would you tell an aspiring artist? It could be an artist, it could be an author, it could be someone is interested in film, uh, theater. What would you tell them about being creative and focusing on goals? And what would you say about that?
I would say, like, well, for me, as far as being creative, I just kind of let it come. Don't force it because the gift is already in you. You just have to let it flow out of you. So don't try to force anything that's not really there. Just kind of let it flow. Tell your story. I'm really big on that. I think everybody has a story, like they have a purpose,
Mhm.
something that can help someone else. So I would just tell them to let the creative juices flow.
Yeah.
But most importantly, just do it. I think a lot of people are kind of sitting on ideas. They're kind of scared. They let fear hold them back. They don't think it'll be received. I'm like, just go for it. When I wrote Zoe the Great, I had no clue what I was doing, but I did it. And even if you only sell one book, no one can ever take away the fact that you're an author, that you did
Yep.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my advice.
Yeah. That's good.
Amazing advice. Thank you for that advice. That
Mhm.
is my last question. Seal, I know you have some other comments or questions.
Okay, so for me, I'm a person of reflection. I always like to reflect, whether it's daily, whether it's annually, monthly. I love reflection. So I'm thinking about legacy. So Joy, every day you're contributing to your legacy. So at the end of the day, when you look back at your life and what you want to leave behind, what message do you want to leave? What do you want people to remember you for?
It's so funny. Like someone just made this post on Twitter and I just responded to it. So I actually have my answer. And it's so crazy that you asked that. What I said, and I stand by this, I want to be remembered for showing kindness to others like Christ shows to us. I think it's something that's so lacking in the world. Like some people are just mean. Like it's lacking compassion, it's lacking kindness. And I want to be that person that when people look back on me, they can say that she was just really kind. Like
Yeah.
that, to me, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
everyone is not shown that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. And there's a quote, and I hope I don't like say it incorrectly, but it's like sometimes people may forget what you say, but they won't ever forget how you make them feel.
Right.
And
Yes.
I think that goes a long way with what you said. That kind act, it could be just one kind gesture. Like somebody could be on the edge, like I'm done, I give up, like I don't want this anymore, and just one act of kindness could have given them enough strength, enough hope to persevere. Like
Yes.
maybe life isn't all that bad, or maybe everybody isn't cruel or hateful, you know. So I definitely stand
Yes.
and agree with that.
Yes.
I guess I would say, words are powerful and words are important. Joy, what is the best advice anyone has ever given you? Like, what is something that someone has said to you that has stuck with you on this journey, or just in life in general?
I would say the best advice or even statement, it actually came from my husband. Because like I said before, I really got married, I was quiet. Like if you talk to anybody, that's what they're gonna tell you. And my husband, when we were dating, he told me that when I finally realized what I was born to do, I would be unstoppable. And I didn't understand what that meant at the time, but it was amazing that he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So
That's
that
a
was probably the
true.
best statement that anyone has ever said to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blessing. That's a true blessing.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
true blessing to have someone say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause I
Recognize
had
it
never
and
heard
verbalize
anything.
it.
I had
Yeah.
never heard anything like
Yeah.
that before. Like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
really? You think so?
Truly
You
God
like,
sent.
huh? Yeah. Yeah. You
Truly
like,
a God sent. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because that's a two-part statement, like in itself. One, that he said that you were going to be unstoppable, so he's already speaking life into you and your purpose. And then number two, the fact that you said he saw something in you that you hadn't seen yet for yourself. And that's
Yes.
what it takes sometimes. Almost
Yes.
everything, like, when you're used to people constantly telling you you're not good enough or you're not able to do something, or maybe you've never heard that, but maybe no one around you has done the things that you're doing. We always have this conversation. We're the first.
Yes.
Okay, no, not the first to go to college. No, not the first to have children. We're the first to take so many leaps of faith to try to create a name for ourselves and for the generations to come, to truly like just be in the forefront and be advocates. Like we're the first to do these things.
Yes.
And so it is scary. And sometimes you do. I mean, everyone needs somebody. I don't
That's
care what
right.
anybody says. Oh, I don't need anybody. Everybody needs at
Yes, they
least
do.
one person in their corner who's their
Yes.
biggest cheerleader, their number
Yes.
one fan. When you start doubting yourself, they like, get over it. Like
Yes.
recognize who you are. You need that. And
That's right.
it's wonderful that you find that in your husband, like someone who you are interact with every day. That's so
Right.
important. That's
That's a
so beautiful.
blessing.
Yeah.
Truly
Yeah.
a blessing.
So I would just say, I guess before we reminding everyone where they can support your book, we'll say that towards the end. But what's next for Joy? We know you have your publishing company. We know that. I mean, I know more books, more journals. I know, yeah. But just tell us in the near future, what do you have coming up next? What can we look forward to?
Well, the biggest thing that I'm most excited about is I have a journal. It's a devotional / journal, and it's called Dear Young Me. And basically, it's a devotional on how to heal your inner child.
Oh.
And when I tell, like,
I just got chills.
I poured my heart and soul into it. I'm so excited when it releases.
Yes.
Oh,
you can
wow.
actually, if you go to my website, you can see the cover. I love the cover. It's amazing.
Okay.
And I'm just so excited about it because that was such a big thing for me because I felt like I had so much brokenness as an inner child, and I would push people away. I would be mean to people because I didn't want people to get close to me. So when I finally came out of that, I'm like, man, I'm not gonna have anything to say. I was this whole mean person, and no one's gonna accept me now. Like, oh, I'm kind, But God really transformed who I am.
That's right.
And it's like now that He's given me my voice and shown me my purpose, I want to help other people get to where I am.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like you glow differently when you're happy. And I want everyone to have the glow that I have now. So I look out for the journal. The devotional.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Ooh, that's going to do it. You cannot do anything fully in life, and I truly believe this, until you heal. And you're going to keep walking around with pieces of yourself until you heal. And that's what you're going to give everybody else, crumbs. You can't give you can't contribute a full seal or a full vow or full joy if you have not done the work to heal. And everybody deserves that person. Everybody deserves the best parts of you. And so, like you said, projecting, somebody hasn't even done anything to you, but that's your defense mechanism. Keep them far away. All of those things, like, that's not who we were born to be. We were born out of love, and we have to just reprogram all of society's junk that they dumped on us, and then get back to where who we truly are and who we were designed to be. So I definitely, from following me, Joy, I'm like, heal, like, heal, like, heal.
That's
like,
right.
We're healing in 2021.
That's right.
We're not doing this anymore. Like, we're not doing it. So yeah, I'm looking. I'm already on your website from before. So now I have to do journal. For Elijah.
A devotional,
The devotional's coming. Listen, honey. Joy, we're just so proud. Like, we're just so happy for you. I remember the first interview, and Joy was telling us, I'm so quiet, I'm so shy. Now I'm like, now I'm looking at Joy's blogs. I'm looking at her. I'm like, you better use your voice.
Y'all gassing me up. Like, I'm like, you know what?
Hey, we here to do that. Room.
We all, like I said, we all need it. But
that's right.
And one thing I can truly say, for everybody who is watching at home, and Val and I have never met Joy in person, but when I say Joy is one of the most genuine people that I have come across, and that's in ever. And we have not physically met, but she's genuine. It's not anything to where it's like, okay, I'm doing this. Some people, and it's no shame if you want to be an author for income. Great. I mean, of course you want to read, which is so okay. But Joy purely does this for the impact, and purely to help people and uplift people and to inspire people. And God will bless you with the prosperity because you're doing it for the right reasons. But it's just it's so great to see. I'll leave it at that. And I know Val is she about to pour all into you.
Look, I'm trying to hold it together, because when Joy when she talked about how she changed, in my mind, because I connect music with everything, and I'm old school, so in my mind, the song by Walter and Tremaine Hawkins, "A Wonderful Change Has Come Over Me." And said that like I was humming that when you were talking. I'm just like, I mean, to me, that's what I see. Thank you, Joy, so much for sharing your testimony because that's what it was. It's basically your testimony. That words are powerful. Words are powerful. Words can help us, but also words can hurt us. Thank you for showing through your book and through your life that words are powerful and that words can help. I also heard you say, don't force it. Your gift is already in you. Let it flow. Those are encouraging words, whether someone's listening that's an author, or if they're not an author, they have no idea, they don't know even what they want to do. But just you saying that, don't force it. The gift is already in you. Tell your story. However you tell your story, that's huge because we, like you said, everyone has a story to tell, but how we tell our stories may be different.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, thank you so much, Joy, for having the courage, number one, the courage to tell your story, to talk about Zoe the Great, to talk about being different like me, to just share your story of infertility, having to deal with that, but also fast forwarding, not just staying stuck, but you're moving forward. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for sharing the story of your husband having being that man of God, sharing with you what he saw, the potential in you,
Yeah.
which helped you to see the potential in you.
Yeah.
And now you walk in your purpose. And now your world is blessed because you're walking in your purpose. And because you walk in your purpose, as we already said, doors have been opening for you
Mm-hmm.
that no man can close.
Yeah.
So we just thank you so much for being here. We thank you for being a bright light because that's what you are. Thank you for being a bright light in a dark world. We know that in order for us to be the light, we have to be the light. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have to be the light. Some people will never see the light other than see us. So we have to be the light. So thank you, Joy, so much for being the light.
Yeah.
Your story is amazing. Your publishing company is gonna be even more amazing than you probably
Yes.
could ever imagine. We just celebrate you today. We just look forward to all the many things that you will do and will continue to do. Just keep letting your light shine bright.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Can we say amen,
Okay.
honey?
Amen.
Like,
Yes.
seal the deal. Amen. Okay.
Amen.
So
Yes.
yes, again, Storytime Chill. Thank you for taking the time out of your Wednesdays to chill with us, to learn with
Yes.
us, to grow with us. I mean, you may have your Kleenex next to you, like I do, just in case, you know.
Mhm.
But we're growing, we're healing.
Yes.
Okay, and we're
Yes.
walking in purpose. And so, again, Joy, I just want to again thank you as well for being
Mm.
transparent, being truthful, and having the courage to heal
Yes.
before our eyes. Like it is a beautiful. It don't always feel like it. Sometimes it's that, oh, it's like, oh, this is hard,
Mhm.
but you're
Yeah.
doing it. Okay,
Yes.
you're doing it, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of your journey.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
so you always have our love and our support. Everyone at home, make sure that you support Different Like Me. The book before that was Zoe the Great. And then you'll also have the journal as well. And so, Joy, before we close out with our story time and chill, can you remind us where we can follow you and what websites you would like us to link for our viewers?
Okay, yeah. So I'm on Instagram. I just joined TikTok. That's a whole nother story. I'm on TikTok and Clubhouse. My username is the same. It's I'm Joy Harrisburg on
Mm-hmm.
all of my social media. And my website is brightlightpub.com.
And I'll link this in what I'll do for Storytime Chill viewers at home. I'll link this in the video caption. So you'll be able to just click these links. And so you don't have to worry about searching and finding the wrong people. We want to lead you
Uh-huh.
right to the light. Joy Harrisburg. Okay.
That's right.
So tell your husband. I know we never met him, but tell him thank you for
Yes.
sharing you with us. I know you guys. It's St. Louis, but I know it's late. We're in Houston. I know it's late right now, but just thank you for allowing us to be a part. You guys look forward to those links being linked in the video. And if you aren't watching this live and you're watching the replay, we still appreciate you anyway. Like, share, follows www.storytimechill.com for all things Storytime Chill with Val and Seal. So we're going to go out with the outro. We're going to go out with a bang bang. Thank you, everybody. You are now tuned into
Storytime Chill with Val and Seal. It's Storytime Chill with Val and